Welcome back to MOJO News. Hope you didn't miss us too much. My name is Richard Davis, and today we'll be talking about designer babies. So if you get triggered easily, please leave. I'm going to be sending it off to my senior analyst, Michael and Muhammad. How are you boys doing over there?
We're live.
Wait, what?
We're live.
Hello and welcome back to MOJO News. I'm your senior analyst, Muhammad Ashir, and today joining me on my panel is senior analyst Michael Smith. Welcome to the panel, Michael.
Thanks for having me.
So today we're talking about a very controversial and ongoing debate in today's society, known as designer babies. Designer babies are genetically modified babies that have the genetic makeup that has been previously selected in order to eradicate or get rid of certain unwanted genes, as well as add wanted genes such as physical and mental attributes. This process is done through gene manipulation, known as vitro fertilization, where we essentially take the eggs and remove them from the woman's uterus. We fertilize them in a laboratory, and then we reinsert them with the wanted genes and take out the unwanted genes. Once we reinsert them, the baby could have enhanced mental accomplishments. They could be smarter. They could be better athletically, physically attributes, and as well they're taking away the very negative effects such as the bad diseases and illnesses. So Michael, as you know, this is a very controversial and ongoing topic in today's society. What are your initial thoughts about designer babies?
I believe this is single-handedly one of the best technological advancements of our time. Like you said, we're able to cure so many diseases, and it just amazes me how we're able to do it. I'd like to know your opinions on it.
You know, I believe that this is, as we know, this could be a very beneficial thing. We can get rid of diseases and such things like this, but it can also have several negative effects. You know, as we know, we're all individuals in today's society. We all have our certain aspects. If we just allow people to genetically modify whatever they want and put their babies with certain characteristic traits and give them blue eyes and blonde hair just because they feel like it, we're technically getting rid of all cultural diversity. Not only that, we're making a bigger wealth gap, and we're making a bigger difference between the wealthy and the poor, because this genetically modifying babies, it costs a lot of money, and only the wealthy would be entitled to do these certain to make their babies with certain characteristics. So essentially, it's very unfair in today's society. As well as this, the DNA could become a permanent part of the human genetic blueprint. So not only are we genetically modifying this baby, we could be genetically modifying the babies to come inadvertently, because we are inserting genes into the babies that could be passed on for future generations, causing even more diseases that we don't even know about today. So it's a very risky process that I feel like we need to evaluate the effects a lot more before we make these decisions.
I mean, the diseases we make is the diseases we can fix based on this. We won't have any diseases.
That's a very good point, Michael, but I feel as though we need to have more experience before we start risking the lives of several babies and our future generations.
Well, of course. We wouldn't test this on just babies. We wouldn't pick out a baby and say, hey, we're gonna get your kid. We're gonna change him up a bit. We're gonna test it out on animals, small animals, then we're gonna go to monkeys, and then from there we'll go to humans once we know it's perfectly safe. I think that's probably the best way to do it, and of course it's the way we are going to do it, and keep it as safe as possible, making sure that we know what the gene does and what we're taking out, how it will affect the baby before we even touch it. And I think that would be the best way to do it, yes.
And how would you respond to people claiming that this is unfair for rich people to be able to modify their babies and poor people to be able to be left out of the situation, as well as allowing higher intelligence for the more entitled people? If we allow these students, let's just think about this like this. We already have several students who are mentally challenged and not as advanced as other students. If we allow people to just genetically modify their kids to have such excellent talents, athletically, both physically and mentally, how will this make people feel equal? Because if we're allowing people to have all this artificial intelligence, high SAT scores, high GPAs in high school, we're really narrowing the amount of opportunities for people who aren't able to genetically modify their babies. How would you respond to this claim?
I believe that it's not going to be who can throw the most money at it. It would be government controlled, and it would be a baseline. So from everyone, it will be a civil right that everyone gets to have all the diseases removed, because that's what vaccines do, right? And everyone can get those. So I believe we'll make it cheap enough so anyone can get it, and that it's not just going to be the rich. And the rich, what they're probably going to do is say, oh, I want my kid to be athletically enhanced. Okay, that's fine. But everyone will have a baseline. Everyone will start at the same level. So yes, that's what I think.
Very interesting. Thank you for having us on today's panel, and we're sending it back to our analyst.
John.
So we're hanging with Josh. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mohammed. And actually, we have two sides to this story. We have the first side, which is a religious side, and we also have the other side, which is a scientific side. This is the religious side. We are against designer babies, and we think that is wrong. It is against God's choice. I believe babies should be made by themselves and not scientific. We are from the scientific side, boy. And we think it's okay because who doesn't want a freaking super bionic baby? What the frick? That's freaking awesome. Anyway, it would also help us with vaccines and some other stuff, some other stuff, some other stuff. It's freaking dope, dude.
Josh, we are.